Hi everybody, this is Tina from Rehatched Designs, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about embellishing your junk journal that we just made, or even the butterfly one that we made. And I'm trying to do it pretty low cost, probably using things you already have or things that you can get pretty cheaply. So first of all, go through your stash of papers, pull out stuff, even things that you don't think will work, that you don't even like that much, pull those out because we can use that paper. Some of our scraps that we used, especially your book page and your music paper and things like that. This is the paper that we used for the butterfly design, but this is a great kind of paper because it's already kind of collaged and distressed. This is that brown paper, the packaging that you can use. Also, don't forget, we've got our, even if you just have, the only book page you have is what we used when we made our butterfly book. If you haven't seen that series, it just it's a rubber band book. Oops, sorry. It's a rubber band, not a rubber band, but a band journal that's very easy to make, that you don't have to sew into your thing. But we're going to take this stuff and we're going to use it. Like I said, I got most of it all for like about $6. So we're going to use some of this today. I'm just tearing a few more pages because I probably have torn pages somewhere. Anyway, one thing that you want to do is also, like I said, when you're using book pages, look for a variance of color, music paper, type, that type of thing. It makes it more interesting. On your papers, if you're collaging, go for a thinner paper. You can use the thicker papers, but the thinner ones work better. If you're using tag, that would all work really well for collaging. If you're going to be backing tagged or something like that, you probably want to go with a thicker paper. It doesn't have to be super thick because usually I put stuff on the back of it. So that's what you want to do. Now, in our journal that we made, I'm trying to decide which way I want to go with this. I don't think I want to go strictly Valentine's with this. I think I kind of want to just make it romantic in general. So I think that's the way I'm going to go with it. What I did after our last video on this, and we'll go ahead and work a little bit more on that, and then we're going to go ahead and make just a few embellishments today. Let's see, I just put a little bit of lace. I told you I always put lace on the signatures and usually sew it in, but because I'm assuming not everyone has a sewing machine, we're not going to do it that way. And there's two different laces on here. There's a white or a off-white lace and then the pink lace. And this is the same lace we used before that we got at Walmart. And this is the same lace from Walmart. This is lace from the dollar store. And then I used some more of the Walmart lace here. I took this, remember our envelopes were in the middle of our signature. I went ahead and put a little of our dollar store lace on the top and the bottom. Put a little bit more over here just to kind of dress this up. I'm probably going to put something here. I just haven't decided what yet. This is a flower that I made from a die cut, and I use these a lot simply because they lay, almost flat. I mean, if I didn't have that pearl there, it would, be almost completely flat. And I mean, it gives it a little dimension. It adds, I think something to the page. And I use this as a stopper here just for this envelope. So that keeps the envelope closed. The other one, this is just a die cut that I had, and the way you do this if you want it to work is you just glue it to the point. Now I backed this a little bit with a round circle stiffer piece of paper just underneath it so that it would be a little bit stiffer, and just glued half of it down and then put that on there. I took some of the same lace and I dressed up this envelope a little bit, put the pink here, the other stuff there. Didn't put anything here. I'm probably going to do something with it, just haven't decided. I kind of pinned some places that I think I want to do things to and kind of got some ideas. Usually what I do is I decorate my signature, you know, front, back, this, that, because it's definitely your stiffer paper. And I'll do this one and that one, you know, on the back of that, front of that first. That's usually the first things I decorate. And then after that, I go in and I start doing pages. And usually, you know, I don't do every page. I'll do like every third. But I'll usually put a stamp or something on the ones I don't decorate, because I did a couple journals when I first started and I did every page, and the book was so wide, it was about like that. Okay, so the cool thing I did want to point out in making a journal like this is that your journal will lie flat better. If you see that, it'll, you know, that way you can write in it. It's very effective, and you have a lot of room. It has flexibility too. It's not stiff like a one that you repurposed a book, because basically all you have in between your two pieces of material, well, actually you don't have material on the inside. A lot of times when I do a cloth one, I put material in here, but we didn't on this one. You have a file folder in there, and then you have your material. Of course, we've got our doily, and then we've got our cardstock. But I mean, that's actually very sturdy. It's not going anywhere. The one thing I was going to do as far as the cover, and I wanted to show you that, is I'm going to take, if you see where our signatures are sewn in here, I'm just going to take a little piece of lace and I'm going to put it from here to cover that. And then that way you won't be able to see them, and it just adds more to the whole look. So I'm probably going to do that right now while you guys are here. So I hope everybody is having or had a good day, depending upon when you're watching this. I've been doing a lot of catch up on stuff that I should have been doing, like taking down my Christmas stuff, organizing things. I've decided I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of it because I just can't do what this is almost empty. I ordered some and it's not going to be here for a while, but I don't know. This time I ordered, I think it was 4. I think I got 4 in the smaller bottles. And like I said, I like the smaller ones. Now what I'm going to try and do is get this underneath where the pink is, because I would like to just, yeah, there we go. If I can get it under there better. Just to not have the raw edge there. Okay, hold on, there we go. I can't tell with all this eyelash trim where I'm at. Okay, there we go. I think that'll do it. Okay, so we got that. Put maybe a little bit more. Let's see if I can tuck it under in there better. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I'm getting down to the very bottom. So I really shouldn't use it as much as I do, but I really love it. But it is expensive, so. And I didn't know any better. I used tacky glue all the time, and I thought it was wonderful. And it really is, so. Okay, put my glue. Now this really isn't holding anything in. It's kind of just for show to cover this up. You don't have to do this, but, and like I said, if you wanted to, you could have put the cover on. Oh, excuse me. You could have put the cover on this part of the cover, not the inside, after we sewed in the signatures if you had wanted to, but I kind of knew I was going to do this, so anyway, we're going to do that. To me, the more trim and lace you put on it, the better. I like to load it up. Okay. There we go. Get that in there good. I'm trying to get this to not have a raw edge showing. If I can get that over here. Get it in there. Try not to get it all over my fingers. There we go. I think that's good. With that eyelash trim. I'm just trying to make it not have a raw edge over there. Just, you know, cover it up a little bit. I think that'll work. I think that'll be just fine. And put that in. Anyway, that's how it's going to look. And we do it, but I don't want to bend it right now, but that'll cover that up. So, oh, it's a little crooked. I gotta move it over a little bit, I think. There we go, just a tiny bit. That's one thing too with this cover. Since it's so pliable, you have to make sure you do things straight. That's why we had to kind of line it up real good before we sewed in our signatures and that type of thing. You can see the ends are here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right, I think we're good. Anyway, we're gonna let that dry. And what I think we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and show you a few things that you can use to decorate with. And then we'll do a couple things, and I don't think we'll actually do any real decorating right now because I don't think, I'm trying to make this a short video, which for me is interesting. We'll see if that can happen. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put this aside, let it dry, because for right now we're pretty much ready to start decorating. The one thing about the signature is that the two signatures is that you still have plenty of room in here to put some decorations in it, but you honestly, if you do every page, you won't be able to close this thing. And right now it closes really well, and even if you were to fill it up to here, because it's so pliable, it'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, it can go pretty chunky and it'll be just fine. That's part of the reason too why I always put that extra ½ an inch there, so that when you do these, you have all this extra room in there. And I like the way these feel. I don't know. I just like the size and how they feel, and that they kind of, you know, squish around and that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get to some of the things that we can do and use that don't cost a whole lot. First of all, whenever I am trying to do a journal, I find that I kind of think about what I want to put in it, and I gather things up. Make sure you get all your little scraps that you cut. You'll use those. Any pieces, extra pieces that you have, cut-offs that you have, you'll use those. Pieces of the actual paper that you may want to cut out. These are some of the cutouts that were already in there, so I cut a lot of those out. Now, one thing too is whenever I do a journal, I usually do more than one. They're not exactly the same, but they'll be very close to the same. I'll usually do 2, sometimes 3 at the same time. And the reason I do that is that, to me, the design process and deciding, you know, what you're going to do and where you're going to put it and all that, that takes longer than just about anything that you do. The actual doing doesn't necessarily always take that long. Okay, so anyway, this is what we had left over. So we're going to decorate maybe a few of those. These were printed on vellum. So that's another thing. I was going to say there's a lot of images, public domain images, that you can get off of Pinterest. And you can print that stuff off and you can use that. We're going to use a little of it, not a lot. We're mainly going to use things from the paper pack because you really don't need to get that much more, because we'll be creating a lot of things, and I'm not going to load this up on every page. But anyway, but that's some of the things. So I've got some public domain images. I have, if any of you have die cuts, I have. That's what I love about junk journaling, is I've gotten to use things I haven't used forever. I did a lot of die cuts. I do this ahead of time usually. What I'll do is I'll spend, gosh, a good hour or so, and I'll just, you know, I'll just do a bunch of die cuts and I keep them because I use them. You know, I don't use them all in one journal, but I'll use them. I have, let me see where my box is. Yeah, I have a whole box. And also, anytime I do anything, I always go through and cut out. I'll just take my die cuts and I'll take all the remnants and I'll put them in there and I'll just start cutting. These are a bunch of tags. Okay, this is just a lot of mixed media, lacy things. You use a lot of that in junk journaling, or at least I do. And I just usually cut out a lot all at one time. If I have to stop and do it, it's not going to get done. I just usually, and I have everything all in one. I've got a bunch of the butterflies in there. Okay, this, I have 2 punches, actually 3. And anytime I'm done, it's upside down. Anytime I'm done with a project or whatever, or even die cuts, there's always spots that I can cut out circles. Always. I mean, so I take my little punches that I have and I just start cutting out every single piece that I can, and I put them in there, and I will use these. And you know, this could be, you could put this, you know, to put this on the edge of an envelope to close a card. You could put this on a tag. I mean, there's just a lot of possibilities you could do with something. As a matter of fact, I think I'll use that. I have, these are things that I've printed off of, I'll take a few of these, you know, off of Pinterest, and I'll use those for, you know, a lot of times background on a card. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see which ones I want to use in here. Some of their images are not that great, but we'll see. I might use that. Okay. No, I don't like that. Okay. I gotta quit looking. Kind of boring for you guys. Okay. let's see what I got. These are, okay, these are just more cutout things that like I said, I always, you know, and some of this is stuff that I got in paper packs or something, and, you know, I'll take this. Rarely I'm going to use something just like this. I'll jazz it up a little, but, so anyway, I keep all that handy because I never know what I'm going to do. These are, oh, here we go. These are bits and pieces of flowers. These are different die cuts that I got. Some AliExpress, some of them, let's see, I think I got, oh gosh, I can't think of the name. I don't know. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But anyway, I use these die cuts all the time. I don't just cut them out of plain paper. I cut them out of pattern paper. Okay, that's hooked on. There's some Tim Holtz in here. There's all different kinds. Anything that has to do with, you know, kind of leaves and flowers or whatever. I cut out a bunch of pieces and I put them in here. And, you know, sometimes I'll make up a bunch of flowers and put them in there. Most of the time not. And then I will just put, you know, here, I'll take that out. We might use it. A flower. If I need a flower, I'll come in here and I'll make one. If I need a butterfly, I'll just, you know, come get a butterfly. That kind of thing. So that to me saves money. I do buy flowers, but when I do, they have to be very inexpensive. And the problem that I find, you know, regardless of the price, is that they tend to be too bulky. And I'll use them on a cover, but they don't really work well for inside a journal. So, and I love flowers, but this was a bunch of stuff. Like, see this? I bought a whole package of these. I've used half of them for $1.74, and they were $6.99. Because there's just no way I'm paying $6.99. I wouldn't even pay $3 for this. This is probably the most I would ever pay. And I don't know how many were in here originally. There was 18 pieces. So I've used quite a few of these, but I thought maybe there might be a spot that I'd use them. These are kind of flat. You smush them. They're not too bad. So we'll see. All right. I have tag dies, and I do have this Tim Holtz die. I have a lot of dies that I don't use, but honestly, there's some that I just use them all the time. And like I said, I will spend, you know, one evening just going through paper and cutting things out and just having a stash to work with. And like I said, after I get done getting the journal, you know, ready, I'll go through, these are all the leftover papers, and I'll make tags and, you know, little, these are all the different die. I think this one of them, this is just a Tim Holtz die that has all these different things. And, you know, you cut these out, and there's a lot of places you could use that in conjunction maybe with some of your other stuff. You know, I don't know, maybe like that or like that, right? Or maybe just like that. In any case, to me, it is an investment up front, but it's worth it if you can swing it. Also, if you know somebody that has the dies, you can maybe see if you can borrow them, because, you know, or maybe you go in if you know somebody else and get them and go 50-50, because it is something you will use, I think. But you don't have to have that. I mean, that's not, like, you can replace a lot of this stuff with just doilies and things like that. I think I bought like this set of dies, and I bought them when Hobby Lobby had 75% off sale, so I know I didn't pay more than $3 or $4 for them. I just didn't. I'm not going to say that I've never paid too much for a die or anything like that. I have, but I don't anymore. I really don't, because I think it's unnecessary. Not for junk journaling anyway, because there's so much of it is just piecemealed together that you can get away with not having. You could have a couple of lacy dies and just a few flower dies. You don't need a tag die. You can cut out tags anyway, so it's just, you don't have to have them. They're just nice to have. Okay, back in there. One thing too is that make sure you keep all of your pieces. Like, to me, this is definitely pieces that you would want to keep after we did our journal. But you saw in that paper pack how many extra pieces of paper we had. We have a ton, so if we need to make tags, we'll make tags, okay? So that's one thing that I do. The other thing that I do is, if you have any of your embossing folders that you haven't used forever, we're not making cards with them, but anything that has any kind of texture, we can use that for collage. You can run your envelopes through that, and that is, you can make, you know, cut some of this out. You can take a frame die and take pieces of it and use it. I'll do the same thing with that. I'll take my old embossing dies and I'll just run a whole bunch through and just have pieces of paper, and I'll cut out pieces of this paper, and like I could cut that out, put it on something, cut that out and use it. Anyway, you can take the corners and put it somewhere. Anyway, I use that also, and it adds a lot more interest. So think about that. Go look at your dies, in your embossing folders, and just think of them differently. Because you're like, on this one, you're only going to use maybe a portion of that and tear it and put it in the corner or whatever, and then maybe rub something on it, and it'll, I think it's well worth it. And like I said, I get them on sale. I don't buy them full price. I usually wait till there's a huge sale. The kind of thing I bought this. I haven't used it yet, but to me this is worth it, because I can I have an idea of what I want to do these for. So I'll let you see them, but this is something that I will use over and over again. So it's, to me, that kind of stuff's worth it. One thing that I use, let me get all this stuff out of the way, because I'm going to forget. Anytime you have the paper that's kind of already collaged, I saved this. That's great paper to make tags out of, because you kind of already have a base then, and so that's great paper to use. Another thing is packaging. Save your packaging, because usually it's pretty stiff. This is kind of cool on the back. It's already got, kind of got it roughed up. Even if it's kind of messed up, just keep it anyway, because you just have to, if you collage on the top of it and then back it with file folder, it'll be plenty stiff. So the other thing is, be on the lookout for pretty napkins, because one thing in napkins will last you forever. For collaging, decoupaging, you can make covers with them, because we'll do a little bit of that, and I love it. And it always, to me, I just always love the texture, how it turns out. So anyway, we're definitely going to use that one, and maybe that one. I don't know about these two. Okay, this is Tim Holtz tissue paper. I bought this one that was on sale. I think I paid $3 per roll. I wouldn't buy it unless it's on sale, but it's really cool to use. It's just basically tissue paper, but it's great for collaging. You tear out part of this and put it on a tag, and it's really nice. If you find other nice tissue paper, buy it. You don't need a lot of it, and it goes a long, long way. Let's see. Oh, cards. I bought these. They were already distressed. They're kind of cool. Why that's kind of good for me is that this plasticky stuff doesn't take distress that well. So I cover up most of it anyway, but I kind of like that. I don't think I paid more than $5 for these, I'm sure. But I mean, that's probably all I'll ever use in my lifetime. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think I said that. Make sure you keep all your scraps and all of your book page and all that. Washi tape. I am not one. I don't have a ton of washi tape. I've bought a few things I like, because every once in a while you need some washi tape. But, you know, I wouldn't buy a ton of it. Just have a little to have on hand. You know your style. Just, you know, maybe buy 2 or 3 of them. Because it is good. You can put a little piece of washi tape on a, you know, a card or a tag or something like that. And then that way you can, you know, jazz it up a little for not a whole lot. Like I said, I was putting my pages together with washi tape instead of using the, you know, scraps of coffee dyed paper. And I kind of thought that after a while, I thought, you know, that's probably not the best use of my washi tape. So, and also too, cards come in different sizes, and that's a good thing. Like for instance here, this is the bigger card. Here's the smaller one size. Well, I like both for different reasons. I mean, you may have a smaller pocket to put it in, and that works great. So pick up different kind of cards. The backs are going to be different. I usually, when I do these, I want you still to be able to see that it's a card. But we'll, like this one, we'll distress up a little and then distress. This is what's it called, Botanicals or something from Tim Holtz. This is an amazing investment if you get it on sale. I think it's like $5. You'll have flowers and butterflies and, you know, that kind of stuff to last you quite a long time. You know, at least a year probably. So that to me is a good investment, because, you know, then they're already... Now, I mean, there's plenty of things that you can print off of Pinterest or whatever, but, and it's free, but my ink, you know, I mean, I have a source where I'm buying my ink cheaper, but it's not free, and that it does add up. So, you know, if I can get a package of, I don't remember how much was in the package, but it was really big. If I can do that, I'd rather do that. You know, I don't mind printing things, but I mean, and just realize that there's a cost to it. It's not free. Okay, and that's another thing. There's so many free images that you can get on a lot of the junk journal groups. People will put freebies out there all the time. This is Project Life cards. A lot of scrapbookers have used these before. These are great to take. And for instance, let's see, you know, you can take several of these and glue them together. Usually it takes quite a few to make them pretty thick. So let's say, oh boy, I'll do enough to where, like say I want that butterfly, and I kind of like that too, so maybe I won't do that one. But today I'll put that there. I don't know, I might put, I don't dislike these as much as I thought I would. That there. Or you could even take this and back it up to some file folder or some cardstock. Yeah, see, here we go. And then, you know, once you decorate these up, then they're a good size. And then you can use those. And look, they have the lines on them just to stress it a little bit. Maybe decorate this side. You know, so you may want to take some time and just glue a bunch of these together. Also, this is a great resource too if you're trying to, let's say you're going to use these and you want to put, you know, line paper or grid paper or something on the back of it. Don't forget that you have a stack of these things probably, and then you can just use that. Like, see, this fits pretty good. And you could round those corners and it's already stiff, and there you go. Maybe put something on put another one on the other side. And there you go. And decorate it up. And so you're reusing your packaging and your Project Life cards. There's your packaging. Let me think what else I was going to talk about. Oh, go look through if you have old stamps and stuff, because I needed a heart stamp, and I know I almost threw this away. In fact, I thought I did, and I don't know if I ever used this. I really can't tell you. But anyway, I found it, and I'm going to use it because I actually don't think I have another heart stamp. I have a lot of stamps, which is amazing. I don't have a heart stamp. But go through your stuff, go through your stash, things that you didn't think that you were going to use. Hopefully you hadn't thrown it away. But if you did, I don't think it would cost that much to replace it. Another thing that you'll use a lot, and I use a lot, is stencils. These are Tim Holtz stencils, but I have a bunch of, I didn't take very good care of my stencils when I had them, so they're not in too good a shape. But I use my stencils to kind of ink my pages that I don't heavily decorate. Or for instance, I would take, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Let me do this one. Let's say I wanted to, you know, put this envelope in there. That's why this thing's great. So you would take that. This thing works great for stenciling. And if you do this on a page, the cool thing about, oh, I just kind of messed that up, didn't I? The cool thing about it is that it's still light enough that you can write on there. I'm not doing a very great job because I'm kind of in a hurry. But anyway, so then you could take that and, you know, ink up the sides a little bit. You know, and all of a sudden you have a different, you can do this right on your coffee dyed pieces of paper in there, and then, you know, maybe not do anything else. I mean, you know, it just depends on what you want. That's where maybe your washi tape could come in. Like say maybe we do, I don't know. Go like that. How about we go like that? We make a pocket out of it. You know, we could just put something over that. And then wind up with, I know I have other stuff in here. Let me see. Oh, come on. I don't want it sideways. Here we go. I mean, you could just take something, do that, ink that up. I think I might do that and see how it turns out. I cut kind of crooked all the time anyway. Well, it's still crooked. Trying to make it not as crooked. Any case, you know, terrible. You don't need a lot to do this hobby. It just depends on what you... Oh, I didn't ink that up either. Gotta do that. Get that. And I got that all over the edges before it dries. Have to hurry up and do it. In any case, just kind of think out of the box a little bit, and then of course we'll do more to it, but you get the gist. And then you could you just have to take things you already have. Let's see, I've got this one. I'll use that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it like that. I'm terrible at gauging the middle. Best not to do it that way. You know, and then you could put something there. I don't know, maybe you take a flower. Well, it doesn't look too bad. I don't know if I want that one. I think I like that better. Just that. Put some lace behind it. I think I inked that too much, but that's okay. It's old. Maybe take just a scrap of lace. Put that somewhere over here. I don't know. Like maybe right here. Look at that. I cut it the right size too. Isn't that weird? Okay, so all I'm saying is that just look at things that you already have differently. I bet you have a lot already. Oh, that rose actually needs to go that way, doesn't it? Oop. There we go. Well, you can't really see the rose now, but oh well. And then that can go right there. This stuff's not coming out at all. It's getting to the end. They said I couldn't get it for at least 3 to 5 days, so that's going to be rough. I don't know what I'm going to do. So, in any case, all I'm trying to say is you probably just need to go look around your craft room, your craft space, whatever. You probably already have stuff. Okay, let's say we put that on there. I'm already going crazy because I have a bunch of the Tim Holtz words, these little stamps, some other stuff. And I know that I have a thing full of it and I can't find it. So I am going to be tearing my craft room apart because it's driving me crazy. Because I don't think I would have thrown it away. But you could do something like that. And then we could put... I don't know. I can't find my Tim. I just bought some more words too, and I don't know where they are. Let's see here. Let me try. This is gold. This is probably not what I would use if I had my other words. That's another thing. I just bought a vintage typewriter in working condition for $25, so I need to get that out and type up some words. I did not do that in the middle, did I? And this is a very old sticker that I had, so it does need some glue, because it's probably, if you do find your old stickers and stuff, realize that you're going to have to put glue on everything, because it's probably, I don't know why I put heavenly, but I did. Anyway, so now, just in a matter of seconds, oh, you know what? I never opened that. That was brilliant. You could put that right on your page. Let's see, we're going to make a tag. I think we can make a tag that goes right in there. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. We need to make a tag, right? Put that there. Anyway, just kind of think, if you have envelopes that have like writing and things like that on there, don't worry about it, because we can cover it up. We'll cover it up, and then guess what? You know, then you can use that. That's what this whole thing is about. It's about using what you already have. Okay, so like this, let's say, I don't know. I'm having fun here. Can you tell? This is my favorite part of this whole thing, is the decorating part. Even though it probably takes the longest, I could do this until 5 in the morning and it wouldn't even, I mean, I'll look at the clock and I'll go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been up all night, because I just love it so much. And I don't know that I've ever done anything. Okay, so which side do we want to use, folks? I think I want to use that. I'm going to use that. Right? Yeah, okay. I really do love it, because I get to use all these little things that I had. And like I told, I don't know if you've heard before, I have 3 grown sons, boys. And I love flowers and lace and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't like I got to use that very often. I have nieces that I did stuff for, you know, but there's a limit to that. But that's what I just love, junk journaling. And I just like the freedom, because there's I did a lot of scrapbooking and mini albums and things like that, and all the you know, the measuring, and if you get this wrong or that wrong. Now, a lot of, if you have been doing paper crafting, first of all, you love working with paper. You love the pretty paper. I mean, that's part of it. And the cool thing about this is that you can really just let your artistry go with this, because it just is it's so freeing. And I do think that I think it's catching on because of that. The only negative thing I keep hearing is, well, what do you do with them? I have like 5 of them or whatever. I think, I don't care. I mean, people that paint have 20, 30 paintings in their home. So what, you know? Anyway, you could take that. We need to put something on the back. What can we put on the back? I don't know. Let me see. I got something. Sorry about that. I hope that didn't hurt your ears. Let's see. This is that wide enough? Ah, perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. This is part of the painted, that one tall enough? Let me see. I don't know. It's got that corner taken out. What other things do we have? How thick is that going to be? You know what? I think I'll use this stuff. This is the manila paper. So I was telling you, this manila paper looks really good when you put it on there, because see, I like to use glue stick on this stuff. The manila paper, to me, just, I don't know, it looks kind of naturally old, especially when you ink it up. And like basically you have 2 pieces of cardstock here. You can put this on the back so you can write. That's kind of dirty or something. And then that, I wonder, are you going to be able to see through that? Maybe you might have to put it on there twice. I think I'll fix it. I'm going to have to put it on there twice. Didn't realize you could see through that. Let's see if this piece will fit now. I have to do it twice. Anyway, I just like how it looks after you ink it up and stuff. And I mean, I like coffee dyed paper too, but I just every once in a while like to have some different things in there, different textures and colors and that kind of thing. And I always do things the cheater way, where I put stuff on and then I cut it out. I don't like to measure a whole lot. I mean, I make sure it's on there good. And then I'll take it, and then if I have to, I'll put more. I just really, I think that's why the junk journaling appeals to me, because even if you mess this up, well, we'll just stick another piece of paper on there. We'll do something else, or we'll, you know, I don't know, we'll collage over it. We'll figure it out, but there's really no way to make a mistake. A lot of glue right there, don't I? In any case, you have to, and using all this stuff too is why I think it's called junk journaling, not just that you're using your old mail. It's because you're using things, you know, that you have. And my kids and my husband would call all my stuff junk. To me, it's a treasure. Okay, where's my hole punch? Okay. Oop, 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 oop. Trying not to hurt everybody's ears again. I don't know where it is. Okay, here we go. All right. So, right there. I'm sorry, I'm doing it at the wrong spot. This thing always gets clogged. There we go. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just getting carried away here. Where is the hole? Okay, it's right here on the wrong side. Okay, come on. Yeah, right there. Oh, look at that. So we made a tag, you know, and then I would just put something on top of that, like, let me see. So this is going to go in here. So you can't really put anything in there that's going to, no, maybe not. Maybe that's enough. So you want it to go in and out. Let's see. Oh, that's another thing. When I'm going to do this kind of stuff, I always just get kind of a, I'll get like a little tray and I'll start, you know, putting things in it, and I might use this too. It's hard for me just to leave things, you know, plain. It's just not my thing. I might put that on there too. So I would have to get it glued on good. Yes. Then, how high is this going to come up? I have an idea. Nah, that's too much. Nah, too much. I don't like it. Well, none of those are going to work. I think we'll just leave it. And I'll put that on there somewhere. That would look, well, it's not big enough. Okay, let me see. Don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself. This is what I do. And this, to me, that's why I end up being up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, because I can't make up my mind, and I'll just play with this stuff. And anyway, I think all of this ribbon is either from the dollar store or I got it for like 74 cents, or I don't I just don't spend a lot of money on that stuff, and I get things on sale. And so, yeah, I have a lot of stuff, but I just don't spend a lot of money on it. I just really don't, so that I don't have to feel guilty. The only thing I really feel guilty about is I tend to disappear in my craft room, I think. I think my husband actually misses me sometimes. He won't admit it, but, you know, most of the time I don't think it bothers him. He goes and he likes to watch his sports and whatever, and I don't ignore him completely, but as soon as I get a chance, I'm here. That's just how it is. I don't ever, I mean, I'm here too much, really, but I don't know if that's possible, but I am here too much, I think. So anyway, so getting back to gathering things, you know, you have to look at things in a way that, here, I think that's just too long. Go like that again. All right, and then I probably need to ink that. I did not do that. Oh yeah, we didn't put our lace on the bottom. I'm just doing this to let you know that you can take your junk without a plan, and that's usually how I do it. This is how my desk looks actually most of the time. And then even when I'm filming, I just have stuff like everywhere out there that you can't see. And that's even after I've cleaned up, but that's just because I think that's what it takes, you know, for the creative process, is to have, you know, a little bit of, how far am I going to put that down? I think probably about right there. Go right here. I don't want to cover up those roses. Okay. See, and this is where it messes up your nails and stuff, because I'm always doing that. But when I'm doing it a lot, that little spreader tool that I have is really cool. And I should use it more, but I don't. I forget. Okay. And then that way it'll lay flat and it won't be too bulky inside there. You're not going to stay, are you? I think I have to put more glue there, don't I? If I just spread this glue. You're just not going to stay. I can tell. Put a little bit of glue right there. What little glue I have left. Okay. And that will dry. I always put a dot right there just because I just know that will come undone. All right. Okay, so then that is going to go right in there. And this is just stuff I found on my desk, folks. So I had no plan, trust me. And then that is, you know, you can just, where'd our journal go? Oh, we could just take our journal. I think that's coming undone over there. See, I'm not putting a lot of glue on because I know I'm trying to hoard it. Anyway, you could put that there. So you put that right there. Right? You could put it here. Why don't we just put it right there? Okay, so let's just do that. We'll put it right there. Take that out. That's another thing. Wait till your glue's dry before you leave your tags and stuff in. I mean, you can see if they fit or whatever, but if you put them in there, trust me, I've done it a ton of times. Then you'll go to get it out and it's stuck. It's not coming out. So, I mean, I get all excited and I'll go like, oh, I'm doing this page. I'm going to the next page. And I'll stick stuff in there because you'll forget where to put it. And it's terrible. I can't, you know what? I think, where'd my ink go? See what a mess I make? Anyway, take that. Let's just put it right there. We're going to go kind of put it low because this is going to come, oops, crooked. Let me see. Hey, got glue everywhere, didn't I? Okay. And it's okay if it sticks out the front a little bit or the top. I actually like that look, but there you go. So this is from the leftover pieces of paper. You can journal on that. You can journal on the back. Oh, I didn't ink that either, did I? I'm just not paying attention to my inking. And see how that looks kind of cool, I think. It just has kind of an old paper look to it. I doubt it's old paper. Just go like that a little bit, make it look a little older. If you want to, you don't have to. Maybe that a little bit. This kind of already does. Oh, and this lace too, if you only have one choice of getting lace, you can get white, because I just dyed this with Vintage Photo. Or I'll tell you what works better is my handy dandy alcohol spray. You spray a little bit down and swish it around and let it dry, and guess what? You know, you've got, you know, a nice old looking lace. You'll hear about all the vintage stuff everywhere. Well, you don't have to have vintage, and I wouldn't spend, I mean, if you can get it for a good price, great, but uh-oh, what happened? What happened? I wonder if glue got in there. Let me see. Ay. Yep, see, that's what I was talking about. I put it in there earlier, and a little tiny piece of glue got in there. So there we go. And that's coming off over there. A little bit more. Make sure the other side's down. Anyway, that is an idea. You just kind of have to look at things differently. And, you know, a napkin's not a napkin, you know. Something you would normally throw in the trash is not trash. Your Project Life card, you know, is not a Project Life card. Like, see, look at this. If you wanted to take one of, where we go? I think if I have a bigger one, I know I had bigger ones somewhere. Well, not even that. Let's just do a smaller one. How about that? Okay, so here you've got this. Doesn't look like anything special. This is just a remnant piece. Put that on there like that. Looks kind of boring to me. So, move that for a second. Look in my little thing of stuff. I think it needs a butterfly. And then maybe a little flower. How about a little flower? And that's another thing. When you do your flowers, don't think just solid colors. Because I actually think the ones that are multicolor look better. Or can look better. See that little teeny tiny flower? It's a little too shiny for me, but we'll fix that. And then I think I could probably do a better job on the end here. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. If you're going to invest in your tools, and then try and use what you already have. Try and source things, you know, like thrift stores, that type of thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting things on Etsy or eBay, because I do, but I get it at a good price. I mean, I'm patient, and I'm not going to tell you I did that at first. At first I was so excited, and I got all this stuff, and I don't know. I learned really quickly that I don't need all that. So, but to me, it's a hobby that I love, and it's therapy. And that was my rant on one of my other videos, is that you shouldn't be feeling guilty about it, because this is something, to me, this is something I need to do. Can I do it on that side? Or do I do it on that side? I could do it on that side and then put something pretty on the other side. Right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to do much to that. We're going to take that, go like that. I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea what we're doing yet. Let us see. I don't know. Do we have more lace? Put that there. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. I like this guy. What am I doing with him? What happened to my flowers that I had over here? They kind of disappeared, didn't they? I had a little set of flowers. My goodness. Yeah, that won't work because it's the same. Okay. Well, I had a plan. It's probably buried under here somewhere. That's what happens to me. I get to, oh, look at that. Maybe that'll work. Ooh, there we go. Ah, I like that. Okay. That works. That works. See, when stuff like that happens to me, it's just meant to be. So, you know, you gotta roll with it. Am I gonna put that in the middle? Okay, that's what I'll do. I don't want to think about it too much. That's another thing. I'll think about stuff so much that I could be here all day, so I gotta stop doing that. If I find something and it looks like it works, then I just need to do it and not think about it. Leave that up in the middle. I think I want it in the middle. And mind you, I'm just using stuff I'm finding on my desk. And usually what I do is I do this. I turn on YouTube. I watch other people craft. And to me, that is so enjoyable. See, this looks too new. We got to make him look older. I will tell you, these little tiny brushes, where did they go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Here. You know, the makeup brushes I told you that I got? Like a whole pack of them for $6. It works really good for making stuff look kind of dingy. And doing like the ends for these little pieces. And it works really good too for when you forget to ink something. If you need to, like when you've already glued it down and you need to get to something. I wonder if I should do a different color of that thing. I know I have different ones. Are there some in here? Let me go look real quick. I know I have some more. I think I have a whole container. And I have different color butterflies, but I think the pink one will be fine. See, that's another thing. I have all this stuff that I just, you know, if you don't want to do much and you don't want to think much, you may want to just, okay, that's smaller. I don't want a smaller one. I don't think I want a gold one because that's just way too much gold. Yeah. I think I have newspaper back here too, or music paper. See, but then that covers, I don't know, folks. Here I go. I'm going to have a tough time making a decision again. I don't think you'll be able to see that, will I? Yeah, you will. Okay, I'll do that. That'll work. I just think that you can, you know, mindlessly sit here. This is what I do, is I go and I just take my punches. These are just punches, and I punch all this out, you know, out of extra paper. Because what I do is I keep like a bin under my desk of just all the, you know, the paper. And then I'll just sit there and punch stuff out, and then I have it. And that really makes it a lot of fun when you're trying to come up with something, because you can just go, oh gee, let me see if I have a different color, or if I have this, or I have that, or if I have, you know, I don't have to go get my punch out to do this, because it's already there. And like I said, if I have to get something out, usually it's not gonna happen a lot of times. So when I get things out, I just do it all. Let me do it that side, or do I want to go on that side? I'm gonna put this side down for no real reason. Have no real reason why. And that's pretty on its own, but I'm not gonna do that. But this guy, he's just still very not, oh, I did it too much. Oh well, nobody will see it. Okay. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but okay. I think it needs something here. It's going to end up coming off. Okay, so then I have no idea what we're going to do with this guy, but you've made a journaling card that you can put in another part. Let's see where we could put that guy. You can see how I make this huge mess on my desk. Let's see. Could put that there, but we don't want to do that. Make a pocket right there. Could put that right there. Well, it's the same paper. I think probably what I'll do is I'm going to make a pocket right here, and I might put that in there later. A lot of times too, like I said, what I'll do is I paper clip a lot of things in, just because, and I use my old rusty paper clips, because I'll just temporarily paper clip it in there now, because I don't know if I'm going to keep that in there, but it doesn't look bad. So we've already done 2 things, and you know, we could keep going, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of let you guys go. I just was trying to get you enthusiastic about possibly decorating the journal, and tomorrow I'll have a plan. I had no plan tonight. So anyway, I think probably what I'll do from here on out is just kind of do some craft with me type things, and if I do a tutorial, I'll try and make it a heck of a lot shorter than that first set. But you kind of have to, I don't really know a way to do that process other than just go through it step by step. For me, I had to watch it like, you know, 2 or 3 times, and I watched different people explain it, and I hope I helped. I mean, I'm certainly not an expert, and there are certainly way better people that can tell you how to do it, but I'm trying to come from a standpoint of the pitfalls that I encountered, and that could be specifically me. I don't know. I honestly don't know any junk journalers that live in my area. So, and the people I know, and like I said, I'm head of a kind of a crafting group. I have to explain it to them, you know, tell them to go look. Nobody knows what the heck I'm talking about. So, but the people that I have shown are very excited and enthusiastic, and that is the reason why that I started making these videos, is because they'll go, can you show me how to do it? Well, I'm like, you know, it's really something you kind of have to digest, you know, over time. And I said, well, then my sister said to me, well, you should do a YouTube video, da 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 da. And I said, okay, well, I'll try. I do want to apologize for my production quality of my videos. I'm obviously not very good at it. What's really funny is my youngest son I live in Texas, in Dallas, Texas area, but my youngest son is in Colorado, lives in Colorado, and he is a media marketing manager for a company, and he basically, that's what he does, is he does videos, commercials, you know, does all the advertising for them and YouTube and everything. And boy, I could use his help, but you know, he's not around. So my other two sons, one is an accountant, and he's flying all over the country all the time, does big kind of mergers and acquisitions kind of thing. And my other son is a big national lab manager, and he does all their logistics. So they're just busy people, and I hardly ever get a lot of help from them anymore. I used to all the time, and now they're gone. So you know, they're not gone, but you know, they'll help me if I need them. But I hate to bug them, so I try to tinker around and figure things out, and I'll get better at it. I just really have not had the time to invest in it. Like I said, I'm so far behind after Christmas and trying to get caught up. I'm sure all of y'all are like that too. It's just a heck of a time. I told my husband I'm going to boycott Christmas next year for me, because it just, you know, I think for women, we're doing all the shopping, we're doing, you know, the wrapping, we're doing the cooking, the cleaning, the decorating, and it's just, oh my God, I'm exhausted after, and I just want to go somewhere next year. I'll go on a cruise, or I don't know, maybe. I told my son that lives in Colorado, we'll just go up there. Hopefully there'll be some snow. And I used to ski. I lived in Colorado for a lot of years, but I do not do that now anymore. And just kind of have a nice white Christmas, and you know, just take it easy, because I'm just exhausted. I'm really exhausted. And anyway, like I said, the biggest reason I'm doing this is that I thought maybe I can help some people out, because I do think this is a form of therapy. I really do. It's very relaxing, and the only thing I do see some people stressing to make sure that they get it right. You know, I don't think there's a wrong way there. I don't think there is junk journal police out there. So, and everybody has their own idea of what they want to do, and there's just no, you know, you're not watching somebody say, here, get this paper pack and cut this size and cut that this size and make this waterfall that size and do this. I mean, you know, I've done that. I've done it. And, you know, I was reasonably successful at it. But this is just relaxing, and it's fun. And you get to play with all of your stuff that you probably already have a lot of. And you get to go run around the house and say, oh my gosh, I could use this like that, and I could use this, and I could use that, and, you know, come up with new ways to do things, like all those paint chip things. I mean, I saw somebody on a Facebook post, and oh my gosh, there's probably 20 different ways that they used them. Anyway, that is going to be how I think I approach this from here on out. I'm just going to do kind of a craft with me kind of thing, and I have no idea how long they're going to last. I'll try and tell you what they're going to be about. I will try and come up with different topics. I'm going to keep probably decorating this journal, and I like I said, I usually work on 2 or 3 journals at a time, and it's not because I'm mass producing to sell. I don't really sell that many. I have sold some just because people ask me, but I do it because I think the design process for me is what takes the longest. And if I find something I like, or I'm doing something I like, I'll make 2 or 3. And I won't always put them in a journal. I have like a big, you know, actually a couple, you know, boxes that I have stuff in that I can just put in journals. But if I have a certain kind of journal in mind, like a Valentine's journal or something, I'll make 2 or 3. Like, you know, like this one, I've gotten to where it doesn't take me that long anymore. The decorating takes a long time. The designing takes kind of a while. And it's not that it takes a long time, it's just the decision making. And, you know, that's the part that takes a while. But that's not a bad thing. I think that's the enjoyable part of it for me anyway. Anyway, I'm rambling, and I apologize for that. I think I will have a plan. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some collaging the next time, so people can see all the wonderful things you can do with the scraps and junk. And, you know, like you're doing a die cut and it rips and you pull it out, and you don't throw that away because that is valuable. You know, all the doilies and all the things, the napkins and everything else. And I'm sure a lot of you may have done that before, but I think that's some of the most enjoyable part of doing this too, is just the art part of it. And, you know, the not knowing what you're going to come up with. Like you know, I'll look at something and go, oh wait, that would work. And it's always weird too, because sometimes I won't have that much on my desk, and there'll be that one piece of lace and it fits perfectly, and I'm like, well, okay. So anyway, guys, I hopefully will have something tomorrow. I've just decided I'm just going to kind of turn the camera on when I'm crafting and call it a day, and I will get better at my production quality, I promise. Probably not for a little while though, because I still have a lot to do in my house. There's always so much I can ignore in my house, and my husband's just kind of, I mean, he's a wonderful guy and never says anything, but I can just tell by the look on his face, well, what did you do all day? Well, you know, anyway, guys, hope you have a blessed day or evening or whatever. I'm going to call it a day, a night really, and turn it off. And you guys take care.